Good early afternoon. We are live. And there's an echo. It's an echo like, can you hear it out there? Could you hear the echo? It was kind of like Lou Gehrig. Today. I'm the luckiest man on the face of the earth. Remember that movie? Yeah. Anyway, we're glad to be here. I'm Andy Andrews. You have joined us for a very serious episode of the Blue Plate Special. No, I'm just kidding. We don't do anything seriously around here. This is going to be a very funny episode. This is the Mother's Day edition of the Blue Plate Special. Hey, Dave Larder. Lots of bottom of the pool discoveries this week. Good for you. Good for you. Ellen and George Havlick from Houston are with us. Marcy Taylor, hi. Good morning from Pasco, Washington. Beautiful day. You just put a strawberry rhubarb pie in the oven. You know, now see, our Iowa girl out there, Julie, is going, oh. And, you know, I grew up in Alabama. I never had a strawberry rhubarb pie until I was an adult. And I love them. I mean, I just love them. Heather Olson, hey, how are you doing? Good to see you from Utah. We're loaded with material today. We put out the word that we wanted people to let us know on this Mother's Day edition of the Blue Plate Special. Let us know the lies their mother told them. And man, I mean, they came in from all over the world. We got them from all over the world, and there's a lot of them. Serena Garner, good afternoon. Is it flooding in Arkansas? I hate that. You know, it's always flooding somewhere. I talked to somebody, I know who it was. It was Dr. Barb, and she's from Ohio, and she said, yeah, we don't have many disasters in Ohio. And I'm like, really? You don't consider a couple of those Buckeye teams disasters? Actually, what I said was that, don't you have tornadoes? And she said, yes, because everybody has something. You know, everybody's got hurricanes or tornadoes or mudslides or wildfires or earthquakes. You know, people ask us sometimes with the hurricanes, they'll say, why do you live there? I'm like, that's the only kind of disaster that they tell us to get out. You know, we have like 3 or 4 day warning. If you're in California, you just like wake up and your state has broken off the continental shelf. Dave Huco, good afternoon. How you like the shirt? Kim Petrucki from Northern Texas. The shirt is from Sand Dollar Lifestyle, the clothier for Mr. Andrews. They are the cornerstone of the wharf, and they have tons of great stuff. If you visit them, you have to visit us, and you have to get your picture taken with the wharf's world famous escalator statues. Eugene Hodge from Elkin, North Carolina. Okay, are we ready to get going? Eva Jean, you ready? These are lies people's mothers tell them. And you know, it's funny because we see a theme. And for those of you on Wisdom Harbor, call your friends. Tell them we're live on Facebook and YouTube today. We decided that since we did an encore presentation on Tuesday, that we would go live to everybody today. And so just let your friends know we're live everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, Wisdom Harbor. Anything else? We're on Twitter?
We're on LinkedIn. Twitter recently, they've been doing some stuff. They got rid of their creator studio where you can't go live for the moment. So
really,
Twitter's off right now.
They're spending too much money on some other people, I think.
Yeah.
I would like to, just while things are up in the air, I would like to make, as the CEO of Wisdom Harbor, I would like to make an offer to Tucker Carlson for For $19,000, we'll pay Tucker Carlson $19,000 a year to do his show here on Wisdom Harbor. So Tucker, if you're listening, we'd love to have you as part of our lineup. $19,000. Okay, Christy. Hello, Christy, my sister, is here. Great lunch the other day, Christy. Thank you. Christy brought lunch for everybody in the office. Wendy, Holly, Bode. Oh, you're already starting. Sitting too close to the TV will make you go blind. Yeah, I heard that one. Billy Roberts Paget, good afternoon. Just found 3 pink daylily blooms on one bush. Made my day. Well, when your bar is set low, that'll make your day. Hey, by the way, I just got the final score of the first round. The lady Makos, the girls fast pitch softball team, our high school softball team, who's won the state championship the last 2 years. They won the area tournament. The regional tournament just started today, and the early games were going on, and they just won the first part of their thing in the regional tournament. Just won. They Mercy ruled somebody 19-1 in 3 innings. So they play again today at 4:45 in Gulf Shores. So if you want to join us there, come on. George Kotzer, happy Thursday. All right, here's the lies. And we got a bunch of them. So just roll right through. And we'd love to hear the lies your mother told. And I'm curious, as we go through these lies, are these lies, were they helpful to mom? Were they cruel? A couple of them I thought were kind of cruel. Were they helpful to mom? Were they just like a mommy dearest cruel thing? Or were they just funny? Was mom just trying to do something funny to watch her kids react? Okay, so here we go. If you lie to me, I will know, because when I ask you to look into a bowl of water, I'll be able to see your reflection. I've never heard that one. And I'm also going to let you know where these came from, so you can get a sense of where these things, but that came from British Columbia, Canada, British Columbia. All right, here we go. In order to keep us from stealing pennies from water fountains, my mother told us the water was electrified and we would die. That was from Georgia. Of course it's from Georgia. Yeah, that would be a Southern mom. I don't know if that's useful or cruel. Probably more useful than cruel. Mom always knew when I was fibbing. She said she could tell because I had a black mark on my forehead. My grandma used to say the same thing. I would run to the mirror to see it, but it was never there. They said I couldn't see it because fibbers eventually go blind. That's Chicago. All right. She could tell I was lying by looking at my tongue. I lived in fear of her telling me to stick my tongue out. That was West Virginia. That my eyes would turn yellow if I lied. California. I asked my mom about the little bumps I would get on my tongue. She told me they were liar's bumps. Wow, that's Wyoming. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's a little cruel. I don't know. Okay, here's some about bread. And as you might have already guessed, moms have been trying since God was a boy to get us to eat the crust on the bread. Okay, the claim was that my straight hair would become curly if I ate all the crust. It's from Idaho. She told me I would get curly hair if I ate the crust from burnt toast. That's Florida. All right, you had to eat your bread crust if you wanted to learn how to whistle. That's Wisconsin. Mom convinced me to eat the crust of bread by telling me that's where all the vitamins are, as though vitamins could somehow migrate outward during the baking process. That's New York. And that's what I heard too. Did you hear that, Matt?
I don't know that I did. I know I was told that about vegetables.
You must have been one of these like goody kids that ate your bread crust.
I guess. I have always liked crust, so.
See, my mom would tell us that's where the vitamins are. I don't know why. I mean, you know, I was like 6 years old. What do I care about vitamins? Right? I mean, I would rather eat the Flintstones candy things anyway. So crust is where the vitamins are? Well, let me eat crust instead of Flintstones vitamins. Yeah, I don't think so. Get this. Now, this is from Latvia. Eating the end pieces of a loaf of bread will make you grow breasts. What do you do if you're a boy? Cat Hooker says his mom told him fibbers go to the fibbers closet.
That sounds like it might not be a fib, though.
I know. Oh my gosh. You know, when I was in the grocery store with my mom, I was like 6 or 7 years old, and my mom was checking out. I would say things like, "Mama, don't lock us in the closet tonight." And the cashier look at my mother, and my mother go, "He's just kidding." And I'd go, "Oh yeah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding." I terrorized my mother. Eva Jean Hodge, Mom said, "Quit eating that ice cream salt. It'll poison you and rot your teeth out." You know, there are a few things as good as a big old hunk of ice cream salt. Just that one little thing. Lorraine Weaver, my mom told you not to cross your eyes because they would stick that way. Yeah, I heard that too. All right. We were told as children that eating the crust on bread makes your teeth whiter. That's from Virginia. So she wouldn't have to cut the edges off my sandwiches. When I was 8, my mom told me eating the bread crust would make my boobs grow big. New Mexico. Mom told me that if I didn't eat the crust on the Wonder Bread, it would chase me at night when I was sleeping. That's New York. Wow. You know, there's a big difference in the crust has a lot of vitamins, and if you don't eat your crust, it'll chase you at night while you're sleeping. Oh my God. All right. Growing up, we always had a toaster that made the bread a little toastier than desired. Mom told her 3 daughters that if we all ate burnt toast, we would become opera singers. And as you would guess, none of us went into show business. That's South Carolina. You know, I'm starting to see a pattern here on Southern moms having great imaginations. And you know, I want to ask you where you think, when we get through this, I want to know, where do you think the greatest imaginations are coming from? Where do you think the cruelest moms are coming from? Okay, I really loved this one. And this one is from Texas. White bread is only for white people. We buy wheat bread because we're brown. From Texas. All right, we've all heard the crust theme. And we got so many about this that I just put all the states on. If you put salt on a bird's tail, it'll freeze and you can catch it. Mom would send me out to the backyard with a salt shaker, and I'd spend hours trying to catch birds. We got those from New York, Florida, North Carolina, Connecticut, and Oregon. Now, these are some of my favorites because these are about bodies and body parts. My mother and my friend's mother told us that the inside of our ears would turn black if we were bad. That's from Iceland. This one creeps me out. My mom said that if I didn't stop crying, my head would fall off and laugh at me. Pennsylvania. Mom said we would get spots like a rotting banana if we didn't go outside and play. Newfoundland. My intestines would rupture if I continued to use my belly as a bongo drum. Colorado. That's one of those. Okay. This is an odd one. This is from the Czech Republic. They said, Mom said that when you drive by a field and smell the fertilizer or the manure, you should breathe in deeply because it's good for your lungs. I mean, what's that for? I mean, you know, you're not trying to get your kid to quit doing something. You're not trying to get them to do something. I guess you're just like terrorizing your kids. Here, now, breathe deeply. I loved this one. She vehemently denies it now. But I distinctly remember my mother telling me that babies come out of your armpits. In New York City. New York City. From Massachusetts, don't play in the rain puddles. You'll get polio. My mom said that if you keep scratching your boo-boos and drink water, that all that water will start pouring out of your cuts and scrapes. Texas. Now see, that's one that's being told for some use, you know. Okay, Mom said that my head would turn around if I left the house with my hair wet. That's Croatia. Anybody ever heard that? Freckles are erased by rubbing cucumbers on them. Minnesota. Where's this one from? This is from Washington State. My mom told me if I didn't wear socks with my tennis shoes, my toes would rot off. Wow, these moms. Now this one, where's this from? Because this one this is from Arizona. And I hesitated to even put this in here, but it's just too good because I can't figure out why a mom would say this to somebody. Okay. She told all her daughters that if you water the house plants during that time of the month, the plants will all die. That's from Arizona. Now see, I can't figure out what's the reason for that. You know, you're not trying to get somebody not to do something or to do something for a reason. It doesn't sound like a practical joke. It sounds like Mom had a coincidence of the calendar a couple of times and she believed it. Francis Adams Dredden says if you play in the mud puddles barefoot, you'll get sandworms. You know, I've heard a version of that, and what the heck are sandworms anyway? How about this one from Washington State? if you unscrew your belly button, your legs will fall off. That sounds like somebody's uncle would tell them. You know, that doesn't sound like somebody's mom. Tracy Trost, how are you, buddy? Tracy said, when I got hurt, my mom just said, rub some dirt on it, you'll be fine. You know, that's like a Southern dad. I heard that too, Tracy. When you lose a baby tooth, if you put your tongue in the hole where the tooth was, you'll grow a new gold tooth in that spot. That's from Indiana. Kevin Perkins, old man, is finally here. You get canker sores if you pee off a bridge. At least in Michigan you do. This is maybe one of my favorites. Where's this from? And this is from Indiana too. This is maybe one of my favorites, but this sounds like somebody's great grandmother instead of their mother. Never cover your belly button when you're pregnant or your baby can't breathe. Wow. Okay. This is the weirdest one, maybe. My mother told me if I bit my nails, a hand would grow in my stomach. California. If you looked at the microwave while it's running, you'll go blind. That's from Tennessee. Don't let your umbrella open inside the house or your mother is going to die. Good grief, that's Brazil. Wow, okay. How about this one? If you touch the basement freezer, you'll be sucked inside and no one will be able to hear you scream. That's Virginia. I guess somebody wanted to keep the kids away from the basement freezer. I bet it worked too. Mom said that jet streams coming from airplanes are actually toilet paper, and if you fall into the airplane toilet, you can get sucked out along with it. That's California. Mom said if I sat too close to the TV, my eyes would become square. Okay, now I ain't heard that one. That's California. I mean, ours was sit too close to TV, you go blind. Mom said that if I wore my watch to bed, lint would jam up the gears and break it. That's New York. How about this one? Mom said I should never sew on a Sunday because the devil will make me rip out the stitches with my nose. That's Indiana. If you have your clothes sewn while wearing them, suck on a piece of thread to avoid losing your mind. That's Mexico. And if you sew on a Sunday, you'll spend eternity in hell picking out the stitches with your nose. That's Washington, D.C. Now, of course, there's the cold concrete things. Did you ever hear any of the cold concrete ones growing up, Matt?
Does that like include the cracks in concrete and stuff like that?
No, it's not like step on a crack and you break your mother's back. Even though if you open an umbrella in the house, your mother will die. No, the cold concrete thing about catching a disease or something. Did y'all ever hear that? Did you guys ever hear that? Yeah, I heard something about sitting on cement when I was a kid. And so this is from California. If you sat on the cement, you would catch a cold. I heard something like that. If you sit on a cold concrete wall, you'll get a urinary tract infection. That's from Maryland. And if you sit on a cold cement wall during that time of the month and water your plants. Okay, If you use your middle finger to make crude hand gestures, there's a man who travels around and his job is to chop off middle fingers. Well, there's Georgia again. There we go. Mom in Georgia. Mom told us if we didn't behave, the chimney sweep would come down the chimney and take us away. Arizona. I love this one. There is a tiny lie man who lived in our eyes, Mama said, and if we ever told a lie, that little man would show up in our eyes and she would see him. And from that time on, anytime we ever told a lie, we would close our eyes so Mama couldn't see the lie man. That's New York. If my brother and I didn't behave, she was going to call Joe Schmo, the baby cop, who would take us to baby jail. It's in Florida. This one is maybe the cruelest one. Even though I see Mom is saying this for a reason, I can't imagine terrorizing a little kid like this. Mom said that if I didn't keep it clean under my bed, the dust would turn into a man. And I thought about that every night before I turned off the light. That's in Illinois. Yeesh. Janice Quain said if you swallow watermelon seeds, watermelons will grow in your stomach. Yep, I heard that one. I was told that one. Dana Kilpatrick said you keep looking at that, your face will freeze that way. Yeah, that's what my parents said about crossing our eyes, making funny faces. Keep doing that, your face is going to freeze that way. One time I said to my dad, is that what happened to you? He didn't think that was very funny. Gerald, you get hemorrhoids from concrete. If I wore my clothes backwards, the fairies would take me away. That's from Canada.
Sounds like an incentive.
I know it does, doesn't it? Wow, where will they take me? This is an amazing one here. Where is this from? I'm going to find out where this inventive mom is from. Where is she from, Matthew? She is from California. All right, here we go. Mom would tell us that under the little silver drain in the bathrooms lived a small city of tiny people. She would tell us how they survived by drinking the drain water and wait for humans who knew how to feed them. I would often feed them my leftover bread and tear my food into small pieces to give to them and put pennies or dimes down the drain so they would have money. So that must sound like it backfired on Mom.
Well, those unintended
like, who put the broccoli casserole down the drain? So, I don't know. She told me that the sudden appearance of dandelions in the yard was because that's what happens when a leprechaun drops gold coins. They turn into flowers in the sunlight. That's Maryland. All right. Every Easter, my mother would take me to a quiet room away from the kitchen. She would sit me down on a comfortable cushion and very seriously tell me that if I sat quietly long enough and concentrated very hard. Wait, let me start that one over again. Let me start that over again because this is too good. Every Easter, my mom would take me to a quiet room away from the kitchen. She would sit me down on a comfortable cushion and very seriously tell me that if I sat quietly long enough and concentrated very hard, that I could lay an egg. That's from California. Sounds like Mom was needing some quiet time after Easter lunch. Mom told us that the brand names on Christmas toys were the names of the elves who made them. New York. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. If I swallowed orange seeds, trees would grow out of my ears. That's from Texas. To deter my brother and me from eating my mom's homemade chocolate chip cookies, she told us the extra crunch to them were frog leg bones. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's California. This one kind of defies belief. Mom said, if you don't eat your beans, you will suffer from a disease called lack of beanie. That's Washington State. I liked this one. This one, you will grow horns if you have a snack while lying in bed. That's from South Africa. Eat a snack in bed, you'll grow horns. I'd be thinking, what kind of horns? Like cow horns, deer horns, like horns from an orchestra. My mom told me that sugary foods had little bugs on them and that the bugs like to eat teeth. But if I brushed them, then it would take the bugs off. That's from Canada. I heard that bugs in your teeth thing too. Michigan. Everything on the ice cream truck is poison. Thanks, Mom. Our mom told us that rich people eat shrimp for breakfast. Now, what was that about? What are you even telling the kid that for?
I have no idea.
Rich people eat shrimp for breakfast. Okay, Illinois. Our mom said that if you leave your glass of orange juice sitting out too long, all the vitamins will evaporate from it. That's California. So I guess that doesn't happen to bread crust. California also, some mom says that coffee turns your knees black. How about this one? From North Carolina, drinking coffee will make hair grow on your toes. There's some mamas that didn't want their kids drinking coffee here. That if I drank coffee, I would grow hair on my chest. It's from California. This little girl was told that her hair would turn red if she would drink coffee. That's from the Netherlands. Okay, this is probably my favorite category. Pets, animals. All right, for our first pet, my mom agreed to let my brother and I get a parakeet. Though I have no recollection of it, we picked out a green and yellow one. The next morning, my mom found the bird lying dead on the bottom of the cage, so she brought it back to the store to get another one. But there were no more green and yellow birds left, only blue ones. My mom grudgingly exchanged our now deceased choice for a light blue bird, and when she got home, she told her 3- and 5-year-olds that the parakeet had taken a bath. We must have accepted it right away because I can't ever remember a time when our parakeet was yellow and green. That's from Massachusetts. That's pretty cool. All right. I was a preschooler when my pet turtle died. Mom had been sick and the turtle was neglected. When Mom was better, she told me the turtle was hibernating. I was unaware she replaced the turtle, but one day she had me come to see how my turtle had resumed an active lifestyle. She told me the truth when I was an adult in my 40s. Not only had my turtle been replaced once, but apparently many times. Canada. When I was 3 years old, I was told the family dog, Inky, died because he fell in the soap bubbles. Okay. Pennsylvania. My pet chickens and rabbits, I was told, had gone to the farm, when in fact my dad had turned them into dinner. Illinois. Whew. Remember Carol Burnett? Remember that? Remember up in the attic, and Betty White was her sister and came in, and Betty White said, "You just thought Fluffy went to the farm. That was what we ate for Sunday dinner." And Carol Burnett was going, "Fluffy, Fluffy." That was one of the greatest episodes of all time. Right up there with Tim Conway and the elephant. Okay, Mom told us that if you kissed your elbow, you would turn into a boy. Newfoundland. Tennessee was telling the boys that if you could kiss your elbow, you would turn into a girl. Minnesota, they were telling them, if you kiss your elbow, you'll turn into a princess. And then in Washington State, if you could put your elbow in your ear, you'll turn into a boy. A lot of kissing elbows, yeah. This is Louisiana, and if you live in Louisiana, you'll know what I'm saying when I say what I'm about to say. If you live near Louisiana, like if you're an Alabama or Auburn fan or Arkansas fan or Texas fan, and you have dealt with LSU fans, you totally understand this is a Louisiana mama. If a snapping turtle bites you, he won't let loose till he hears thunder. Yeah, there's Louisiana. And, you know, as far as I know, maybe in Louisiana, snapping turtles are like that. Okay, here we go. I love this one. For as long as I can remember, when we would drive to Rhode Island, Mom would tell me that the forest rangers used giraffes to prune the trees. I would always be looking in just the wrong direction and missed seeing one as we went by. That's a Connecticut mom. I also, this may be my favorite. I wish I could go back to my boys' childhood so that I could tell them this one. If you keep staring at a mirror, a monkey will pop out. I love that. Now here's another one that's like, this is cruel. Okay. If you whistle at night, snakes will hear it and come into your bed. What little kid is whistling so much that his mother wants to tell him that? Okay? Dragonflies will sew your eyelids shut. California. Why are you telling the kid that? I mean, it's like you're looking at too many dragonflies. What's the deal? I don't know. Do you know where Polly, my wife, in Mississippi, they called dragonflies snake doctors when they were growing up? I don't know. I love this one from Washington State. Mom said that playing with my belly button would make my butt fall off. Okay, in New Jersey, they were telling them that dragonflies will sew their mouth shut. And let's see, in Massachusetts, Mom was saying eating chocolate chip cookie dough will give you worms. How about this one? The bubbles in the icicles hanging from the roof are worm eggs. Minnesota. Wow, thanks. My mom used to tell us not to eat paper, crayons, or glue because if we did, it would give us worms. Then the worms would grow in our bellies. That's Oregon. Washington, if you eat raw cookie dough, you'll get worms. This one this one gets my vote for most bizarre. I mean, this is maybe a little past cruelty. This is like a little mental aggression by somebody. I don't know. All right. Sometimes when our house settled, it would make little creaking noises that seemed to come from under our home, only accessible by a hatch in the crawl space. When my brother and I asked Mom what was making the noises under the house, she told us that was where our misbehaving brothers and sisters lived, and if we didn't behave, that's where we would end up. Wow. Wow, Mom. That's California. And how about this? Mom told me that the grease spots in the street in front of our house were stains left over from children being hit by cars who had tried to cross the street. Golly, that's Indiana. They must have moved from California. All right, going out with wet hair, wearing clothing that didn't cover you up completely, and sitting down on cold concrete all cause a mysterious illness known as a chill on your kidneys. When questioned about the symptoms when I was an adult, my mother still said, well, you'll know all about it when you catch it. It also seems to be caused by not eating vegetables and staying out late without your good coat. That's it. That one's from the United Kingdom. Man, my mom was just an amateur compared to some of these. You know, my mom was the sit too close to the TV, go blind, eat the crust for your vitamins. My mom was just an amateur. I don't remember much past that. Betty Ayers, these are so funny. These are hilarious. But it's just, I don't know, some of them are kind of bizarre. Do you guys we will look later, if you will comment on what your favorite one was and which one was the most cruel. You guys have a great Mother's Day. Treat your mother great. Call your mother. Always remember, this time of year, I always remember the Bear Bryant commercial that he did for... I always remember the Bear Bryant commercial that he did for Bell Telephone. And it was really good. You know, he was an old man when he did it. And, you know, I guess you remember how Bear Bryant talked. But, you know, he said something about Bell Telephone, and then he said, have you called your mama lately? I sure wish I could call mine. I thought that was pretty good. So think about that. Call your mama and wish her a happy Mother's Day. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.